Hey guys, welcome to Mitch's Mail Call for Wednesday, July 18th, 2018. Special Political Campaign 2018 edition. It's been a long time since I've done an episode of Mail Call. For those of you who don't know what that is, I used to do a regular series where I would go through my mail every day and kind of riff on it and try to make it funny, and sometimes I was successful, but often not. Today, though, I'm focusing on one piece of mail that I got today. It's a political hatchet job, is what it is. And I know we've all been getting flyers in the mail. Most of them, they started off positive. Hi, I'm this guy, and here's all the good things I'm going to do. Now that the polls are open, it's gotten a little nasty. What I got today was pretty much just a wicked hatchet job on Tim Burchett, who's running in the Republican primary for U.S. Congress, for the House of Representatives here in this district that we're in East Tennessee. And so this whole thing is just about how terrible Tim Burchett is. I've met Tim Burchett. He seems like a nice guy. By all accounts, he's a nice guy. Politically, he's chosen to crawl in bed and align himself with Donald Trump. So politically, I have no use for the man. So that's a whole separate issue. I just kind of really want to point out the insanity of what's going on here with this card. So I will neither be defending nor trashing Tim Burchett. It's really not about him. It's kind of about this mailer in itself. So the gist of it is that, Tim Burchett calls himself a conservative, but he's really in bed with them liberals. That's kind of what's going on here. You see, there's a perfectly good Photoshop photo of him and Hillary, and he's got his hands on an envelope full of money, and Hillary's whispering in his ear. So this can't be good, can it? This is Tim Burchett. He's up to no good. It's so blatantly photoshopped and horrible. But I kind of resent the implication that something bad is going on here. I mean, for all we know, they could be at a poker tournament, and instead of pocketing money, maybe Tim Burchett has just reached into his jacket to pull out some cash to call the bet, and maybe Hillary's whispering in his ear, "Don't double down on 7." We don't know what's going on here. It could be anything, but this goes on and on. It attacks his voting record as liberal, and he's part of the swamp, and he's a career politician, and he's profited from taxpayer dollars, and he's had shady financial deals, and some of that's probably true. Okay, now on the flip side, though, this is where it really gets fun. Here's another nice Photoshop. We've got Burchett with Hillary and Obama and Pelosi, and he's just laughing it up with them. They can't be up. They're up to no good. These liberals. They're laughing about something. To me, it just looks like they're having a good time. I don't know. Give them a break. What? But here's the thing, though. You've got Burchett's photoshopped arm. Notice it's wrapped around Obama. He's got his arm around. He's touching a black man. We can't have that. We can't do that. Anyway, he's a career politician. He's betrayed conservative values and blah, blah. And the word liberal is used as a pejorative about 17 times on this side of the postcard. Here's a quote. In regard to social issues, you'd swear Burchett is a Democrat. And that's from the Tennessee Ledger, which, has anybody heard of the Tennessee Ledger? I have no idea what publication. Okay, here's where it really gets fun, though. So over here's how bad Tim Burchett is. Burchett is so close with liberal Democrats that Hillary Clinton mega donor and liberal Phil Bredesen performed his wedding. There's Phil Bredesen marrying Tim Burchett. That's how evil Burchett is. He let liberal politician Phil Bredesen marry him. And just for the record, yes, Phil Bredesen is a Democrat, probably the most centrist and moderate politician to occupy the state house, the governor's office in Tennessee in 50 years, but he's liberal. He's bad. He performs weddings. And this killed me. So this whole thing is just like Tim Burchett. And then then this postcard brings Phil Bredesen into it, and then it goes off in this whole Phil Bredesen tangent. Even though this postcard isn't about Phil Bredesen, they decide just to throw a few punches at Bredesen for the hell of it. Here's a quote supposedly from Donald Trump. He'll vote against us every single time. Phil Bredesen is a total tool for Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. Well, I guess if anybody knows anything about being a total tool, it's Donald Trump. But it's just like we're beating up Tim Burchett, and oh yeah, he knows Phil Bredesen too. We don't like you either, Phil Bredesen. So anyway, this thing is ridiculous. So I'm like, well, who is this even for? Who's behind this? And in tiny print, you can't read it. Paid for by Matlock for Congress. This comes from Jimmy Matlock, who's running against Tim Burchett in the Republican primary. So, this is just from old Jimmy Matlock. He's a good old guy, local businessman, good family man, good conservative Christian values. He's a God-fearing man. He's just engaging in a little character assassination on the side. I wouldn't worry about it. He's old Jimmy. He's a good old guy. Anyway, so that's it. This is just one example of what came in the mail today, and it's ridiculous. So this is kind of what I think of all of it. See you later.